It's tough, man. It's tough on these streets. You gotta check the IT. You gotta check the IT. Welcome back, y'all, to another installment of Banterville. We're out here busy listening to DMCs in the background. You know what? You know what that reminds me of. It kind of reminds me of what Solskjaer actually said. He was saying that it's tricky now in terms of the football without fans because now the opposition can actually hear the things that you change. Like, hey, Rashi, go mark, hey, we're switching formations, hey. So now that actually be a bit more cryptic.
I'm actually quite upset that we can't hear because they play the sound over that. Like, it would be nice to be able to switch it on and off.
Yeah, so we can actually hear what's happening. These guys are busy playing the FIFA background. Anyway, gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Banterville. Crossing our fingers so far, no technical difficulties. It's lovely. I can even see the little honorary diploma, honorary degree recipient over there. Rashford at the back. We got Cape Town on the top right. We got, where's that, Max? Is that Canada or is that Australia? Where's that?
Toronto, bro. The 6.
Oh, it's the 6. We're my woes. You know how that should go. Hey, come on.
But views for day, Baba. Views for day.
Nah, guys, thanks for checking us again. For those who are here for the first time, I'm Neo over here at the bottom right. Top right, we got Keketso. In the middle, we got Max all the way from the 6. We got, let's see, top left, Mike Baeza. The bottom left, that's, Rea de Pollo. And we are here for another installment of Banterville. What's going on? A lot has happened in 7 days.
What they do?
A lot has happened in 7 days.
I'm angry.
Let's get to it then.
Alright, chaps. If Martial had just scored one of those, like another one of those 3 chances that he had, like everything would be fine. I even blame Lindelof actually. Like, how is he defending? How can you be behind the guy?
That was a whack defending. That
was whack defending.
He had a lapse of concentration. You're correct. Absolutely correct.
I'm very confused by that last goal.
He had a good game up until that moment.
Yeah. And look, to be fair...
But there was so much happening.
Yeah, true. There was a lot happening. And to be fair, you know what? I was actually thinking about it. I was like, in all actuality, what just happened?
Yeah, 40 minutes.
I spoke too soon. I should have just kept my damn mouth shut. Like how Lindelof should have kept the goal out. Gosh, damn.
Maguire was also marking his own man.
Yeah, he was.
But
That's what I'm saying is there was just so much happening.
No, there was. I was actually saying, sorry, before the Zoom, I don't know what happened. Zoom just like pushed out. But like before I got cut off, I was going to say, to actually be fair, I think Bailly would have been better. However, I can actually say that if you actually unbiasedly look at Bailly's game, sometimes he also misses out when marking his man in the box, It does happen. So I can't say for sure that if Bailly was playing, that was going to be any different. I think maybe he would have been a little bit more aggressive. Because, I'm sorry. Like, the shortest guy on the field is scoring from a set piece. It should not happen. It shouldn't happen. It's inexcusable. Sorry, yeah?
One thing that we actually haven't spoken about is that is actually where Williams or Shaw would have been.
Exactly.
Hence why Lindelof had 2 people.
Yes.
Like, I haven't known that. Like, that's literally where one of them would have been.
That's so true. If Williams was still on the pitch, that's where he would have been.
No, but even besides that, let's talk about the flick one. that ball came in at pace. Whether Williams is there or not, it's a 50-50 to say Williams would have stopped it. The real issue is that we went the first man to the ball was the issue.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have let them have the flick on.
Yeah.
That
Somehow
initial
there was a
header.
lapse of we
Yeah,
were
I
the
think
defender,
the marking was poor.
outpaced, outmuscled.
I think of the two. Sorry, Kings. I think of the two. I think the flick on it happens. You know, the good quality cross, well worked position. He flicks it on, but I just feel like Lindelof shouldn't have been. He was literally and he was out muscled. It wasn't that he was like he was out jumped. He was literally out muscled, kept behind by the player, and then he was able to flick it on. And I just don't think that's allowed. I agree that with Maeza, what Maeza was saying, that he had an excellent game. It was just one moment of madness, and it cost us.
But that's the difference between the top and the rest, to be honest. Those small moments are the difference between the top and the rest. I mean, did you watch? I don't know if you guys saw the pre-match interview today with Solskjaer. Like, go watch it if you haven't watched it. Let me tell you something. I laughed, because the last question was, so we've spoken a lot about the front three and your attacking players and how well they've been doing. What do you have to say for the back? Solskjaer was like, sometimes, like defense, I look at the whole 11, and then, we're disappointed. I was like, this guy's, I'm sure he was pissed, like, fuck.
Yeah.
He knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
They need.
Solskjaer, he looks like he gets annoyed. He looks like he gets angry, and he tells people off.
But what Max is saying is actually quite true, because that initial header is actually the issue, because if that was on target and he scored, that's the only thing we'd be talking about, because the player still won the header.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have been able to win that header.
But it was a mess in that box, man. It was
No, there were a lot of things.
a lot of bodies.
kudos-
They had an extra man on us, and Williams.
Yeah.
Look, I know
lots of things
it's
happening.
harsh to say, but that guy shouldn't have gone off, man.
Who, Bruno?
He was bleeding.
You should have played with that concussion.
No,
They don't let you play though. They don't even let you play.
No,
Sure, guys.
No. What did Mini say the other day? Off the reservation.
You would have said, lad, continue and finish the game. It's only 5 fucking minutes. That's what Ray King would have said.
No, but it wasn't
Okay.
a concussion either. I mean, concussion is actually worse. But it wasn't a concussion. He cut his eye.
It was blood. It was
Dude.
blood.
I've seen Rooney play with a busted eye.
Yeah.
With a busted
But the amount of time it would have taken for him to get strapped up, get cleaned, then come back on, the game probably would have been over either way.
No, you don't need to get clean.
Surely-
Right? Put that thing
You do.
on.
You can't play with
Yeah.
blood.
No, look. just
Surely they can do that on the pitch.
Put it on.
Waste time.
Yeah, like put it on. Get on the pitch.
No.
Stevie-
I think I've seen Jones strapped up like that even.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why he's got a one-way ticket to Syria right now. He's gone.
Nah, boy.
He's out of here.
Nah. But look, for me, kudos to Southampton. Like, just as Jets, that first half, those first 20 minutes, they were on. They were
No,
on
they
point.
played. They pressed, and we couldn't play from the back. We could not. Matic was getting rushed. Pogba was getting rushed.
Is
Couldn't.
That's what led to the first goal.
Yeah.
AWB he was confused. There were just too many bodies, and he's not a passer,
Yeah.
so he couldn't get it out of tight
passes.
spots.
Yeah.
Because you know what, man? In my opinion, I do think that was a game for runners. So that you're Fred and you make Sauce, I think they would have had a much better game than Pogba. And Matic was pretty solid in most areas. But I think we needed runners in that midfield.
Yeah, I agree.
But they don't hold on to the ball better than Pogba though.
But the thing
So
is,
even if they were to hold the ball, they'd get rushed.
if you look at that game, right? We were chasing that game, dude. And Pogba and Matic don't have the legs to be running after these people.
Yeah, they showed him flames, bro. They showed him flames. So I think.
Yeah, they're running circles around these guys, bro.
But you know what? I actually think so. I've always been pro Solskjaer, but what I can say from an unbiased perspective, I think where his inexperience comes in is tactical prowess sometimes. Because in this type of instance, right? If we saw what was happening, maybe what he should have actually done is change the formation at halftime to like a 3 at the back, or take off one of the players, change a few things, Because you need to be able to unsettle guys, or maybe wait until the water break is done. So tell them, guys, hold on until the water break is done. When the water break is done and they've updated their notes, change formation so that they get confused. Like I don't see that enough. That tactical. I don't see that specific part because that would have helped
during the game.
During the
like
game.
You see, yeah.
That would have helped.
But if it ain't broke, why fix it?
No,
18 games unbeaten. So, 10 games, and the guys. I think we're the first team in league history to win 4 games by more than 3 goals in a row. So you think about it as a coach, those are your best players on the pitch. They know how to play. They're experienced. Yeah, I think we just played against a good team, and then B, if you look at the middle part of the game, maybe from 20 to about 70, we were dominant. We were on top. We controlled the game. We could have scored another 2 goals. Then I don't know what happened. Suddenly they started to come back. They started to press higher. They started to push us. Pogba got off. I think maybe the Bruno Fernandes substitute was maybe it wasn't the right one, but he didn't have a great game as well. So I can understand why they took him off.
But I think you should have stayed on only because I'm not gonna be mad about it because I don't think Solskjaer could have guessed that we're gonna lose a man towards the end. But I think when you're going through those moments, you need leaders on the pitch. And when you take Bruno Fernandes off, who do you really have as a leader on the pitch? Harry Maguire. He's basically trying to,
He's our captain. That's not good enough for you to say Harry Maguire. He's our captain. Why is he captain?
Well, he's the only guy. He was the only person there.
The be all and end all.
What do you mean Harry Maguire?
So what happens, eh? What can we say? We knew it was a game we could drop points. We knew. Wasn't it?
I know it was there.
I think ultimately, Solskjaer could have had a better game, but he didn't have a bad game. The reason why we drew this game is because of the defensive quality we have.
Yeah.
Straightforward and simple. Yeah. We've known for a long time, for 2-3 years now, that our centre-back pairings are an issue. And I've been saying for months I want to see Koulibaly at United, but he's going towards this team. City, apparently.
He's going to City. They're playing Europe, baby. They're playing Europe, baby. Yeah, don't worry about it. FFP, don't worry about it. They got it. They got it.
They have the cheat code.
100 million.
So then, if we're talking centre backs, right? Here's the question: is so we're saying we definitely need a centre back, right?
Mm-hmm.
One question: do we need a centre back to pair with Maguire, or do we need a centre back to pair with Lindelof? That's one question. And then the second question then would be: we just splurged, broke bank. 85 million for a centre back. Do we splurge again or do we remain conservative now? Because it's the exact same position. Are we going to hit another 85 million or whatever it is for another centre back?
Yes.
How much was Van Dijk?
80.
75.
Oh, 75.
Yeah,
75
million pounds.
Okay, so we can safely say that 85 million nonsense was ridiculous. We all agree. We paid 15 million too much for Maguire. We got ripped off there. That's also our fault.
Well, there's that Man United premium. We wanted him. Leicester knew it. Negotiations, etc. But I'm of the opinion that I think we have good centre backs. There's the top 3. Let me say. After that, it gets a little bit wishy-washy, maybe excluding Axel Tuanzebe. But I really think Bailly. I really do. I really think that he can be that guy. I think him and Maguire together, I think is good enough. Because then they're
Why
strong.
Why not him and
quick.
Lindelof?
For me, Lindelof is just not. He's not.
Lindelof is strong enough.
Yeah, he's not a
player. He's not a premier player. He's not like Rio and Vidic together. You just don't get that feeling.
I agree.
Is he that far off Maguire? That's what I'm trying to establish. That is it a clear Maguire is better than Lindelof, or is it we just need another centre back?
I think he's better.
For me, the tangible. Sorry, Maisa, go ahead.
Overall,
I'm saying when it comes to the Maguire thing, you need to look at it holistically, right? What does Maguire give you on the pitch? It gives you leadership and it gives you strength. It gives you a voice and organization there in the back. Lindelof doesn't give you that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So in terms of impact, Maguire is just a much better defender overall for the team.
And also,
I think
I wanted to. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah. I wanted to record because I remember someone in the group was like, "Ah, no, but he's a good passer." That guy was doing shit
Nobody
passes.
is.
Nobody was doing shit
Nah,
passes the whole
wait,
game.
Maguire or Lindelof? Wait, who's a shit passer?
Lindelof.
I think
He passed.
Oh,
Lindelof
okay.
Lindelof is a better passer than Maguire.
But on
No
average,
way.
no,
Cakes.
No,
no,
Lindelof is a
no,
better passer, guys.
no,
Let's see stats.
Lindelof
I'm
is
going
a
to look
better.
for stats.
Lindelof is better on the ball than Maguire.
no. He's got more.
No, wait, no.
No. Let me
I
actually.
disagree.
Let me fact check
I
that.
promise. He's more of a ball player.
Fact check. No, boy. I tell you, have you seen Maguire does this thing? And I've only ever seen him do it, except him and Bailly, where he'll just draw the defender in and then just a quick touch. So the defender will come running and then the guy will drop the shoulder, quick touch, gone. Suddenly there's a bit of space for the pass. He is cool, calm, and collect, almost Rio-esque in terms of it on the ball. Lindelof he feels jittery, bruh. He feels jittery. Bailly's the best. Bailly's the best. On the ball, he's the best.
People get jittery when Bailly does those things, but he seems so calm.
I only get jittery when Bailly's attacking, bruh. I mean, yeah.
When it comes to me, I've always been a fan of Eric Bailly because that guy, when Bailly's in the back and the door's closed, no one's scoring when Bailly isn't that defense. He gives you pace, gives you strength, and he's a bit of an erratic defender, but he gets it right. How many penalties does he give out?
Funny you should say that because my two most recent memories of Bailly, well, three actually. One was his comeback game, where he had a fantastic game. He bossed from the back. He was the shit. Then another memory is when he came back from injury again, but he scored I don't know how he did it, but it was a ridiculous own goal. It's like he did a 360 turn in midair. And now the last most recent memory is his halfway house handball that he gave away recently. So I don't know, Maeza, where you get this utmost confidence in Bailly.
Stop it.
I think he's a fantastic defender. I think he's awesome, but he hasn't done enough as a player for me to believe that this is the man we want as our prime centre back.
You've only mentioned a few occasions where he may have, he did cheats like every other player does, right?
Can you remember what Banterville did?
They don't give us performances every game.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what?
I think it's unfair.
It is unfair.
Uh-huh.
Remember what Lindelof did that one time? I think when he first came, when they did, it was like a long ball, and then he tried to win the header, and they just went over him. Bloop! I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Nah, son, that guy, because he can eat bench.
Honestly, God, I think we need to just splash that 70 million. Get somebody new. We know who can do the job, and Bailly can be third choice, and they can rotate and they can fight for the spot. Because injuries will happen.
It's going to be Axel Tuanzebe. That guy's good enough. He's going to be if he can just stay fit. For me, Bailly is all about the mentality. I just don't think he's got the intangibles, but he's got the skill. And then Maguire's got it all. And then Lindelof, I think he's a good supporting act. He's not going to be the heart of a defense. He's not going to be the driver.
Not to mention, Maguire also is very shady these days. He's not playing up to the standard we expect of an $85 million player.
Yeah.
He's been slow. He's lacked his leadership.
But it's a $60 million. He's a $60 million player.
Even if he's a $60 million player, he hasn't been up to scratch. First game, he got turned like a fool. Who took him out? What was the first game? Spurs.
Bergwijn.
Yeah,
Was exposed.
Yeah.
I totally disagree with you. How can you say that this guy's been exposed for one game? It was one game.
No, but I'm not talking about that game.
Conceding. They haven't been conceding in a couple of games. They drew one game, and you say Maguire's trash.
I never said he's trashed. I said he's not up to standard of what we expect from him.
No, come on.
I don't. I remember reading an article about his performances. I need to just pull it up. But I'm not the only one who thinks he's not defending at the levels we require him to be at.
What levels?
Should we be made to feel bad? Mike, just get closer to your mic. We're losing you a bit.
No, I'm saying that. What are you expecting from him? He has Lindelof as a supporting act.
All I'm expecting is him not to get turned like Bergwijn did.
And that's got nothing to do with the supporting act.
Hi, these things happen, boys. You play enough five-a-side football to know that, hey, sometimes it goes through your legs, bruh.
Yeah. I mean, look,
and apparently, it's coming back to me. Apparently, there's another goal he was nutmegged. And
yes. Look, Mike, we can't lie. Since lockdown, he hasn't been great.
Yeah.
That's my issue.
He hasn't been great.
But are you saying that he's not? I mean, he's not. I mean, this whole season.
No.
Been the best.
That's no. Down. He hasn't been great. That's all I'm saying.
I think he's the number one defender. I'm happy he's the captain.
Me too. I'm not
dependable.
disputing any of that, but I'm saying when you're at Manchester United, you're not judged according to how you perform overall. Every game for a Manchester United player is a cup final because every team we play wants to beat us. So we expect our players to perform at that level or expected of the stature of our club.
We want everyone to be perfect. Unfortunately, it's real life. The guys aren't perfect.
Dude, when you're getting £180,000 a week, no. I can understand guys like
even Wan-Bissaka is showing us that he's only human.
That guy is not getting the same amount of tackles that he was prior.
Yeah, 2 average games.
It was overall we had a very bad game. I mean, when you see Martial being one of the hardest working players on the pitch, that's when you know that your team is not performing.
But he was on fire, Brian. I mean, pushed.
And then we saw Rashford. Rashford was the best player on the pitch for us. The guy who's been misfiring since the restart was our best player on the pitch.
We lost it when we lost Shaw. We lost it when we lost Shaw. Shaw has been him and Rashford. You can see there's that understanding now. He'll get to the byline, he'll juke. Shaw will run like a train and then get the ball.
I think Shaw's been fantastic, honestly. Shaw has been.
I agree.
He's been consistent, and that's what we wanted.
He's really more than a fantastic player.
Does anyone know how bad the injury is?
I hope it's not bad.
It's swollen. His ankle is swollen. So Solskjaer said, he said that they didn't train today, but he said he's going to give him as much time as he needs to let the swelling go down. But of course, like a normal twisted ankle is like 2 weeks, right? So if I was our homie, because we have Chelsea on Monday, dude, I would actually just say no Shaw,
Sunday,
no Brandon tomorrow. Tomorrow
is Brandon out as well?
Yeah, he's also out just for one game though.
And Greenwood's also broken.
What
is he?
No, he's okay.
Yes, swollen ankle
as well.
Oh, after that tackle from
Romeo,
fuck.
Well,
I should have, bruh.
That was a bad tackle, shit. And the kid 17.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
We still
he's also out.
Young. Williams, no man. It's a tough man.
But Dalot is also. I think Dalot is injured.
So
that can't be then that means we don't have a team then.
Don't worry. My boy's gonna pull up. He's got the the Van Dijk hairstyle. My homie Tahith Chong. He's ready to prove all the doubters wrong. Don't worry.
Left back.
Isn't he a midfielder?
Yeah, he's a winger.
Left back.
No, up there. Don't worry. We'll play 3 at the back.
What do you say, bro?
We'll play 3 at the back.
Where's Rojo? Is Rojo back?
He's still in Argentina eating enchiladas.
Suntanning in Argentina.
Now we actually need Rojo because Brandon Williams doesn't drink enough milk.
That's incredible.
No, stop it. They cut his eye, bruh. It's got nothing to do with calcium. Come on.
Hey man, my ears is really after Williams today.
So they need to toughen up, Max. I mean, honestly, one little tackle, then you're off the pitch. Come on.
Who can play left back then? How do you? I mean, it has to be a left back. It has to be someone.
It's either they play Eric Bailly there as a left back, or they play 3 at the back, or they, because remember then you can play maybe like James on the left wing back, and then maybe like a Tahith Chong or an Andres Pereira on the right. Wan-Bissaka on the right. Then you have Rashford and Martial up front. Bruno, and you got Bruno, Matic, and and Pogba. But for that type of formation, I would actually, I think that playing a Scotty would be better, eh? Because those guys are gonna chase us. I can tell you now.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
very strong team that you described, though. It's actually a very powerful team, Shane.
We're gonna have a bit of issue.
I don't know if I want James on the left versus Zaha versus Wilfried Zaha.
Oh, that's a hard one.
True. But doesn't Zaha play striker?
Well, I mean, if you're Roy Hodgson, you put him on that right side to exploit, get past the player, and then you can have Andros Townsend in the middle, Christian Benteke. I mean, they'll get supply.
But
if you can exploit that left way. Ooh, Zaha.
So that's Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka's got it.
No. I'm sending right now as we speak. I'm going on to Twitter. I'm about to go send a tweet to Wan-Bissaka to say, "Yo, Chief," because remember him and Zaha are homies. Remember we lost that game.
Nah, I think he'll have a good game tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna tweet him right now. Say, friendship.
What do you mean, dog? He's watching. He's watching the show.
Yeah.
Why don't you just send him a DM?
Hey,
he's watching the show. Tell him, bro.
Hey, me, I don't go into the DMs at all anymore. I cut that shit.
Oh, tell us more.
Nah, I'm just kidding. But I want the whole world to see. He must know that the world is watching. It mustn't be a DM. They must understand. But I'm gonna say Zaha, handle him. Or let me say pocket him.
Wan-Bissaka's gonna put that man in his back pocket.
Yeah. No, he has to. So here's another thing with our subs, right? If we're making, because Oli is very comfortable with playing 4-2-3-1, but maybe we can't play that with what's coming off the bench. But he's like almost just plugging them into that and just forcing them.
Yeah.
And I'm just like.
All the guys can play those positions. What do you mean?
Yeah, but they're not great. I mean, you already.
No, you're 100% correct. No, Bruno, that formation doesn't work.
Like, you need to tweak it a bit.
I agree with you.
He needs to finish it around. How?
Oli doesn't, and it's like what Noah was saying earlier about this is where you realize, Oli, the experience of Oli. Because when it comes to changing the game, that's not one of his strong points.
I mean, we could do a 4-4.
He makes direct subs.
How do you...
And those players aren't direct substitutes for each other.
Yeah, they're not.
Like, you can't take off Pogba and bring on Fred or McTominay. It's not the same play. It's not the same player. They don't do the same thing. But you want to plug it into the same system.
Yeah.
So how does it work? So let's say you start 4-2-3-1, 60th minute hits, Matic goes out, and McTominay is going to come in. How do you switch it up? What do you?
First of all, I wouldn't bring on McTominay. So
okay. Who do you bring on? Let's say you bring on Fred.
No, I'm just saying, Kels, that the players aren't those type of players. It's not plug and play type players.
But I guess the
there's
question
almost
is
just like a little bit more thinking that he needs to do. I'm not the tactician, but there's definitely a switch up that needs to happen. It's not they're not plug and play players.
But you change to a 4-3-3, you change to a 3-5-2. You see, my question is
possibly
if you bring in 1 or 2. But so you bring Bruno back.
Possibly a 4-3-3.
Into the mid, you bring him into the midfield 3, but Bruno's incredibly effective further up the pitch. Just
but
because
also, I do feel like that sometimes he also makes subs. Or do you not sometimes feel that like coaches just make subs because time has passed and not necessarily not to like change the game, like how's the game going? And I want to the game. It's just like 70 minutes. Gotta make a change.
I don't think a lot of those coaches have a job, to be honest.
No, but like, I'm just saying, like, but like I'm saying, like it's like bringing on Fred for Pogba. What are you trying to do? You stick him in the exact same. Like, what are you trying to like?
Look,
I just think it's like he's probably tired. It's been 70 minutes. Take him off.
To do what he really wants to do right now. he's still making his team per se. It's very difficult for him to be like, okay, I'm going to change the formation up because I've brought these players on, but then it affects your team's flow and stuff like that. You'd rather play with his set players however they're playing, and then maybe take a draw than to change his formation, change the flow, and then lose the game 3-1 and 3-2, and then all of us are like, it's because he doesn't know what he's doing.
But then is the alternative for us to suffer until he gets players?
No, but I mean, suffer is a strong word, Cakes. You saw, I think, now did
no,
you
but as in like we'll only have a starting 11 until.
But, I mean, these things is not magic. You know, you can't just
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
For me personally, in my opinion, that's where it sounds like we're at. We didn't really have a succession plan in place in terms of players when Fergie left. We just had a crop, and that was that. Next coach must sort it out. Unfortunately, that was Moyes and
Van Gaal.
But also, this thing of saying Ollie is trying to mimic Sir Alex, but Ollie needs the players. Sir Alex sometimes felt like he had a system and he forced players to play the way. Like, I mean, he was playing with the Cleverleys, the Welbecks. As soon as he left, a lot of players just seemed like, yes, this is actually a terrible player.
I mean, you can never.
I don't know where the line is, but do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, you can never compare them because Fergie made ordinary players extraordinary. That was him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is he was that good?
So I mean, what Solskjaer needs to do. I mean, we've said it before. I still feel like, you know, and that's where we argued a little bit in the group. I still feel like a Sancho is a number one priority, and it's more because of a sense of urgency. If we don't get him this year, I doubt we're gonna get him the next year. That's the number one reason. Number two, you were right. You know, we're talking about we need another creative player because the reality is, if you take out Pogba or you move Bruno, whatever it is, now you're lacking creativity from the back completely. Because we don't have the guys at the back who can who can really play well from the back. It's normally our runner midfielders like Fred and McTominay. And you saw that. Pogba came out, creativity less one. Bruno came out, creativity less two. Now we were just trying to see how it's going to work. So you do need... That's why I was saying in the group, I was saying the next best thing is either like a Mato or an Andres Pereira in terms of the closest thing. Obviously, they're not there, but from the closest thing that you're looking for, I felt like they would have been a better player to bring on rather than Fred and McTominay. Because now we're just there trying to preserve a league, but our defense is not great.
Nah, I think Fred and McTominay are the right people. Just because they are technically decent, they are runners. They can keep, they can defend. Right. You bring in Andreas Pereira. You've seen him in central midfield. He's woeful.
Woeful.
But he'd be going in at 10 though. He'd be going in at 10.
Yeah, to do what? Like he's not great. Like Pereira is not. He's not great. Rather bring on Lings. If you're gonna bring on Lings. If you're gonna, maybe I'm just being me. But I don't know. But I agree to say that the depth is definitely. I think you want similar types of players to come in. If you're a systems coach, I think I see Oli more as a systems coach. Whereas you see other guys are more player coaches, but I guess a lot of guys are
I don't know actually, because I was gonna ask, do you think Fred and McTominay get clear instructions of what they must do?
No, I think they do. I think they do. Come, guys, these are
professionals. You guys really see clear instructions?
No, there's a difference. Yeah, but there's a difference between getting instructions and actually executing them. Those are two distinct things.
Yeah,
but they keep on getting played. I don't think they get clear instructions. Those guys, even Matic. Matic, it's just that Matic has always been that player. It's not like he's playing outside of anything new. He plays like that. So that's why I'm just like, I don't know if Scott and Fred can do that without being coached.
Well, I think they do get instructions because Fred admitted he's a better defender because of the coaching he's been receiving with Carrick and Co. So I think it really comes down to what Neo was saying is that they get the instructions, the application of said instructions might be an issue. But I do think there's a coaching element.
No,
like
yeah,
work,
I meant
you know?
in game. I meant in-game instructions. You're coming off the bench. Okay, this is what I want you to do. This is, you're going to sit, or you know what? As soon as you're going to.
But we also see the coaches on the sidelines with those little flip charts, and they're going through
You saw how Mason was looking at that thing. You saw
Mason's a kid, bruh. Mason's a kid. He doesn't understand it. Physical paper. What the fuck is physical paper?
Not even an iPad, nothing.
No, these kids. Honestly, these kids.
You see, they also should have brought in my boy. Man, they must. That guy must just listen to me. He must stop ignoring and blue ticking me. Ole, I was saying, bring an Odeon, bruh. Because you know what, like even Odeon in the box. Dude, we needed to hold up play. Like there was nothing happening. We were trying to make the break. Like there was just no control. The moment Pogba and Bruno came off.
But how do you take off Martial? I mean, he had the game.
No, but you didn't need to take him off. That actually would have made sense because once you clear the ball, you clear it to him, and then he's got Rashford and Martial running on each side.
Yeah.
So, but where do you? So you play Odeon as the tip, and then Martial on
and
the
you
left,
play the other
Rashford
two
on the right.
Because it wasn't Greenwood's game.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
James just won a challenge. That's what he did. He won one challenge.
But James makes sense if you're defending. Because he's quick, hit you on the counter, boom, blitz, get into space, pass the ball, go.
James is not the problem.
That kid needs
the problem is the fact that Williams got off.
That's the problem. I think Shaw getting injured was the actual turning point.
Yeah, it was.
And it was just so unlucky the way he just rolled.
He was replaced with a competent left back who subsequently also got injured. Not even injured. He got a cut on his head. Cut.
Yeah, but to be fair, you know what?
I'll tell you something. No, hold on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something, right? When Shaw, did you see what happened when Shaw got injured, right? He tested out his ankle, he fought for it, and was devastated when he had to come off.
He was also devastated because he was worried about his position going. He just wasn't devastated because he wanted to play. He was worried Brendan Williams will show him flames on the pitch.
At the same time, that's a fair assessment, man. At the same time,
but Mike, you can't continue playing with blood, though.
You see it in his eyes. William should have said, "Guys, clean this thing quickly so I can get back on the pitch."
No.
The boy's
he played with the whole thing.
He didn't know where he was.
Look, on the pitch. This was the game, and our last game. This was the game and our last game for us to drop points because right now, to be honest, we have the easier ride. Have you seen the fixtures that Chelsea and Leicester have? Yeah. This was the game.
Chelsea have Liverpool and Wolves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Sheffield. No, they played Sheffield. Leicester has Sheffield.
We know what Liverpool
when though? Is that not tonight even?
I think that's tonight. I'm about to check.
Oh shit! What is the?
I know Arsenal and Liverpool are now.
That's 1-0.
Two teams.
Really? Who's winning?
Arsenal.
Liverpool.
I mean, it was just a rhetorical question.
Chelsea, can I tell you what's going to happen? Liverpool's going to throw that game, guys.
No, but Mike
can screw us out of Champions League.
No, but Mike, if they are still in contention to get the century, they 100 points, then they won't.
Why, bro? Why waste the 100-point season on this season? No fans.
100 points or screw with.
But it's a goal, guys. It's a goal. We scored 100 points. That's how good we were. Because they don't
rather do it next season.
They can't say this season we won the treble or we won anything else. Take something.
They won their first league in 30 years. That's perfectly fine. That's for them. And if there's going to be 2 weeks between seasons, rather you just take it easy and then start again in 2 weeks' time. Well, not in 2 weeks' time.
Are they really having 2 weeks between the seasons?
Yeah, it's not long. No, man, because it should be a little bit longer than that because it should be August at least.
For them, because they're not in Champions League.
If you go Champions League full way or Europa League full way, then it probably ends up being about 2 weeks.
It's tough.
But you get the win.
But niggas have been sitting for 3 months doing nothing.
Yeah, and they get the winter break. They'll be fine.
But look, they also got the 5 subs for next season as well. So that's
Oh, they got the 5 subs.
Are we doing winter break this year?
What a plus!
Master, I'm sure
They must. What did I want to see? Did I put in the group? When is the transfer window opening? Did I put in the group? I can't remember.
Okay.
Isn't it end of July for us?
No.
One thing I think we should be really grateful about, though, is that United's gone from a team that no one wanted to watch to actually getting excited about football games. And even now, as we sit, a couple of months ago, we would have been very happy to get a draw. Well, I would say very happy. But rather, let me say, getting a draw at Southampton would have seemed like the usual run of business.
Yeah.
Right now, it feels like we lost that game. So, in fairness to the lads, they've come a long, long way from what we have known of them.
100% agree. I just want to ask you something quickly. What do you guys think about our former manager across the rivers there in London?
You have to say he's washed.
That guy's a whack.
You have to say he's washed.
Nah, it's finished.
He is washed.
You have to say he's washed.
But does he have his players? You know, Mourinho needs his players to win.
Exactly. If we're saying that about Oli, Mike, we have to give him that as well. Does he have his squad? We'd have to.
And he came in. He hasn't bought any. Sorry,
he hasn't bought any centre backs. You know, he has to buy centre backs.
Yep. He needs to buy Ibrahimovic or 40-year-old, at least one 40-year-old player.
A 40-year-old player.
He has to buy some players with character. I really hope Mourinho's impact on Tottenham is so negative that we can steal like a young Harry Kane or something. Take a Son or something from Tottenham.
Son would be tight.
Yeah, Son
would be dope.
Yeah.
Son would be dope.
Yeah, Rao.
Son would be dope.
That's a player right there.
I'd definitely take Son over.
Give them Jesse Lingard, bro. Didn't Mourinho play him 1 or 2 times?
Sorry.
And he's English.
Hey. Keep Lings' name out your mouth.
That guy's gone, bro. You need to forget about it. He's not even making the match day squad. His career's over.
Keep Lings out your mouth, bro.
He must go to West Ham.
Just getting back to full fitness. He's out there working hard on the training pitch.
At the rate Lings is going, you'll find himself in the championship. That's championship.
He must go to West Ham.
That guy said that he should become. He's in the leagues of the likes of Lionel Messi.
Which Lionel Messi?
JL14, guys. JL14.
One of the greatest number 10s. Imagine.
As you guys forget, that man danced at the Emirates, guys. Unforgettable moments. Unforgettable.
That's the last memory we have of him. It's like
just
3 years ago.
Just hate
it. Jesse Lingard, something went wrong. And to me, it stands out. I think when he broke up with Jennifer Frooms, it's just been downhill from there.
Women do that to you. Women do that to you.
He might have underappreciated the positive influence she was making for him in his life.
Nice woman.
She kept him hungry and pushing and going. And then...
Women are a great motivator.
The boy lost it.
They'll feel the fire in you. And when they're gone, it's lonely. That's tough, man.
Have you seen
permanence? Lingard has no plans.
Oh wow! Can you please mute my Ezra? He's busy talking nonsense. Have you guys, just on the topic of wags? Have you seen any of the United players' wives?
Yeah, I've seen Bruno's. I've seen Pogba has a girlfriend.
Baby mama.
Fred just got married.
Oh yeah, right. Baby mama's got. Fred got married.
Rashford's got a little girlfriend there.
Does he? I haven't seen that.
Have any of them broken the mold? Because all wags are white and blonde. Like every wag is white and blonde.
Wow. Jones
is Tony's one.
Yeah.
White and blonde.
Yeah. So I think brunette.
Maybe like Caucasian and brunette.
Maybe Bailly might give us some faith, some hope.
Bailly got the real.
Proper son.
Bailly got the real.
My boy.
That's a real African brother, man. He keeps it real with these women, son. He wants the real thing.
Okay.
Nah.
I think he even met her in Africa.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, yeah.
And they came up together.
Yeah, they came up together.
Oh.
Did you say
I hope
Jones
Greenwood's.
is Jones dating a black woman?
Yeah, he's married. I think they're married. He's married to a black woman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now we can keep him there. We can keep him there.
Black Wives Matter.
Wow.
Guys.
No.
Black Wives Matter, guys.
They
Black
do.
Wives Matter.
They do. But on the pitch, you know, if you're Jones, you can go to Italy and say that stuff. They can go.
That's so mean.
They can go there and try to change the scope of things that side.
I hope Greenwood is clever.
Nah, he's dating a Caucasian girl. He's got a Caucasian girlfriend.
As long as he's got a good girl.
Oh, that I don't know. I just
You guys
saw.
like
I hope.
Well, I mean, look, the reality is that, you know, if you look at the English landscape, you know, I mean, the majority is Caucasian. So one, you're against the statistics. Two, it's a culture thing. You know, like these guys, you know, and the Caucasian girls like the black guys. You know, what I mean, like it's what it is. You know.
I mean, especially the rich ones.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the culture. I'm not saying it's the only thing, but I mean, there's evidence that it's a trend. You know, it's obviously a trend. So it's just one of those things, eh?
Oh, well.
It is what it is.
And let us just say, you know, there's nothing wrong with dating a Caucasian woman at all. We're just notifying, like,
Of course.
it's just a trend, you know. And I just wish we could see. I wish we could see a lot more black players dating black women. You know, black women are gold too. You know, why not? Look at.
I think that's really the issue. There's the perceived notion that dating a black woman or a person not white is inferior per se. And then as long as that's not the case and people have their heads on straight and know that's nonsense.
Love is love.
100%.
But I mean, look, if you look at Eric Bailly, who has more heart than that man? I'm telling you. Behind every great man is a great. Sorry, beside every great man is a great black African woman. Hey, have you seen that guy?
Hashtag.
He almost broke his leg and he came back. And they gave him a new contract before he even played. Sharper. Come on. Eric.
So
I trust in Eric.
Brandon Williams must go get a black woman then. African.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Woo-wee. That's funny, man. That's funny. We haven't even talked transfers this today. Yeah? You guys are happy with the squad?
Do you see what I put? I put in the group? If we get Champions League, Sancho is ours. I'm telling you, and not just because of this post. I just think that was always the case. You know, from a financial perspective, we secure that top four. We're getting our guy. I just don't see us not getting him. You know, I know our hearts have been broken so many times, but I purely believe because he's made it. He's leaving. I can confirm. I believe he's going to go. Whether it's to us, somewhere else, I'm certain the man is leaving end of the season. But it looks like it's gonna be us. So we need to get that top four, get that number 7 jersey filled up, take that fake number 7. Actually, we should tell him, yo, because apparently he doesn't want to lower his wages at Inter. What a bumper clut. Yeah, that guy's trying to ruin.
He wants the same.
Yeah, he wants the same wages. He's trying to kill us. That guy's an Arsenal double agent. What the hell did we do? Bloody Mourinho.
No ways.
Ultimately, if he doesn't want low wages, let him come. We'll just make him train with the reserves on a daily basis. If he wants to sell his wealth so to the devil for £400,000, Manchester United will not cry about £400,000 a week. It's a lot of money, I agree. But if it's to teach Sanchez a lesson, then let's teach him a lesson.
And remember
to train with the under 21s.
You'd rather, you know what? You'd rather give him off and then you pay some of his wages just to match whatever he wants, just to get him off your books, bro. Just get him off your.
But it's pricey.
Get him out of the club.
It is very pricey.
If he wants to be an asshole, let's also teach him in the same way.
You send him to Inter, and then you pay like what, 50% or what is it, 50% of his wages, then keeping him training with the reserves and paying his full wages.
Fair enough, but they want him full time, eh? And he's done well since the break. I think he's got like 5 assists and a goal.
Apparently, since lockdown, he's been firing in Syria.
It's good. He must go. It's fine. I don't think Oli wants to keep him anyway. He will if he changes attitude and he plays better, but I don't think he's Oli's top choice.
No.
I'd love to play Inter in the finals, eh?
That would be such a romantic final.
But
then Lukaku scores against us and we lose. No. You know the soccer gods, bruh. The soccer gods are cruel.
That's a game you need Bailly. I'm sorry. If they don't play Eric Bailly against Inter in the final, well, fuck. You think Lindelof is gonna target Lindelof that like on purpose? You know when they target these smaller defenders, they're gonna kill him.
Definitely.
Young as well. Oh god.
Yeah.
Hey, that's gonna be cool. Yeah, seeing the boy Young.
That would be a dope final,
though.
If we get there.
No, we're getting there, bro. There's no doubt in my mind. Like, you know, it's time to get some trophies. You know, Liverpool have what, like 3 or 4 trophies now more than us. I think it's 3.
Yeah.
So it's time to close that gap, bro. And maybe not in the league, but in terms of trophies, come on, it's time to do something. If we win on Sunday, it's going down, boys. It's going down. Chelsea Sunday.
Yeah. Speaking of Sundays, do you play your full strength squad again?
100%.
Yeah.
Because then they would have played Monday, Thursday, Sunday.
I think they need to make a break for tomorrow's game. They need to make changes. I think you don't risk.
You'd rather change tomorrow than Sunday.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Max Sauce and Fred need to start.
Those are bold moves, gentlemen.
I just look. I don't think the guys. I think the guys don't need to train, so they can use Friday, Saturday recovery, and then they can jam again on Sunday. And then who'll be playing in the next league game after Crystal Palace? Maybe then.
I'll tell you now.
Maybe then you can rest a couple of players. I do think you need, because we obviously had a disappointing result on Monday. You want to have a good result tomorrow. Play your team that's winning. Play the guys who are on form, and then on Sunday it's a chance to win a trophy to get to a final. You have to play your strongest team.
We still have
Chelsea
to
are going to play the strongest team. Well, Arsenal could do the business. You know?
No, stop it.
Please.
Stop it.
Please, take us seriously.
Just stop it.
Take us seriously.
No, but that's fine. Rather, you want to need to give yourself the opportunity.
West Ham.
That's tough.
That's also another tough game.
That's a tough
home away means nothing these days.
Yeah.
No, when we played the London, you have shit at the London Stadium. But I guess that's right. That's with fans. I would play the two strongest teams I could. I would play the 2 strongest teams I could. Just give the guys time to rest in between. Say we don't train. These are your days for recovery. Get into the ice bath, sleep,
massage, the whole shebang. I think that's why also Oli took off Bruno and Pogba this last game.
Apart from
longevity is a serious issue for us.
And we do need them. I mean, it's clear that the team plays differently with them as opposed to without them.
Especially Bruno. Without Bruno, there's no hope.
Yeah,
but it was his first poor game, man. He didn't play very well.
But
his passing was off.
But he got an assist, guys. I know. Contribution. But I mean, without the assist, we lose the game. He assisted.
Can you see? You don't
Martial.
even remember.
It was Martial.
It was a pass. It was more of a pass than an assist.
It counts. Without Without that pass.
No, for stats it counts. But I mean, it's just nothing. But it was all Martial that goal.
No, you can't do that one. No, you can't count that one.
But it's an assist, is it not?
No, technically you're right. It was
one pass. Then you looked up, hit the man. Come on,
I had to rewind, but I had to rewind all of the goals, maybe 15 seconds back. I was like, what?
No, but think about it. If it's another player, maybe they don't pass to Martial, maybe they pass back, or they try to run further than they're supposed to. He made the right decision at the right time, then Martial killed it,
Nope. There's no player. I would have made that pass.
No.
It would have been the only contribution I would have made the entire game. It was a straight pass right to the player.
No, but remember Van Gaal football. Must I remind you?
Guys.
Hey, get the ball, pass back.
I actually think Van Gaal's football was somewhat more boring than Mourinho's.
No, it was boring.
Oh, yeah. It was terrible.
It was aimless. That's it. It was just
pass hold.
Wow. Those were tough times. You can understand why the Depays didn't make it through that era.
Hey, Memphis.
No, you can understand.
Memphis.
Oh, those were tough times.
And then the man hasn't coached. Sorry, no, go ahead, Max.
I want to say, how would that delight chap? Do you think Juve would let him go? Apparently, he's struggling.
Oh, but he's 20 years old. He's still got time.
Yeah, but I mean, he could be a good purchase for us.
Yeah, he could. We wanted him last year, but are we even willing to pay like
Juve.
this before we? Yeah, he chose you. That's why we went for Maguire. Because I think De Ligt was. But I think this season, Frankie De Jong has had a better season because they both came from Ajax, and De Jong's been proper. He's gonna be. Yeah, he's been okay.
Guys, you've been too hard on the lad. He's only like 20 years old.
Yeah, that guy he can't even speak Italian, bro. I'm like, like, huh? What'd you say?
You know, he would have been amazing at United, honestly. He would have been amazing.
I think
Barcelona.
I think he would have been better than what we have. That's my honest opinion. Because what you have in the two of them is loud defenders, and he's good on the ball as well, and he can run forward. Like, I just think that, when you have two center backs who are quite loud, who can communicate, it's quite easy. I mean, you can't say the language barrier isn't an issue because, for example, if you're on the pitch, you see a player going towards someone else. It's hard to say, "Hey, Kelechi, watch out, bruh." And the guy doesn't know what you're saying. He's like,
He's like, B? What B? Where's the B?
So it does count. I think I would judge him on a second full season. But he hasn't been great. But I would judge him on a second full season after he's had time to adapt. But I think he would have.
I still think. No, I think you're right. I think he'll be brilliant for Juve. It's been difficult for him to acclimatize.
And also,
new league, and it's a big team.
Don't forget the coach they have. Sarri. Come on, dog. I don't rate that guy.
Sarri ball.
I don't rate that guy, dog. When you have Cristiano Ronaldo, it makes it easy, bro.
How many seasons do you think Ronaldo has left? Because, I mean, him and Messi are getting to the end.
I think in the next 2 years we're done with those two.
Yeah.
Wow. The way you say it, bro.
No, I mean, how much longer can they go?
Oh, good.
I mean, after that, you have to go to MLS, though.
Yeah, you have to go to MLS. Go play for.
But they could stay in Europe. They could stay in Europe.
No.
I mean, they are two of the greatest players of all time, guys. If they can stay in Europe, they can.
Messi's next move has to be Italy.
No,
slower league, slower defenders. It's chilled. Just go relax honestly, there with Ronaldo.
The best decision is the MLS because the intensity is lower, the expectations are lower.
That's very chilled.
You make your money.
It's a nice environment per se.
Business opportunities. Look at Zlatan. Zlatan was going on to late night shows.
But then why didn't surely there's a level of player that's too good for it. Like Zlatan came back, he's now at Milan. I mean, the best players are gonna find it too easy, right?
Yeah, then they can create new records. They can become they can become
MLS gods.
Yeah, they can become exactly MLS gods.
Who wants to stay? Europe, you get kicked every day you play, man. It's tough playing football in Europe. People are serious about soccer.
Those Italian fans.
Yeah.
Oh.
They'll throw tomatoes at your gate.
Luckily, they're not black, but...
Those guys poison Smalling's dog, bro. Imagine, they poison Smalling's dog.
Can you see?
So dick. Maybe the dog was a dick.
Maybe it had nothing to do with soccer.
Exactly. Maybe the dog just wouldn't shut up. I'm kidding. What if Ronaldo said, last 2 seasons of my career, I want to finish it off at United?
Aye, footsack.
Would you take him back?
We have ambitions.
No. Footsack.
We have ambitions. We tried this thing with Zlatan. It didn't work.
No, but Zlatan doesn't have the same. He didn't do for United what Ronaldo did for United.
And also, in fairness to Zlatan, he got injured. As far as I thought, he was doing fantastically well for us.
No, he did well, and
I don't think he did badly at all.
But I can't try that experiment again, Max.
No,
I can't try that experiment again.
But this is Ronaldo. This is guaranteed. He's gonna get. He's still one of the best players in the world, even at the age of 49. No?
Champ, one of the best sportsmen of all time is Michael Jordan. That guy went to what you call it, to Magic. It's like
He went to the Wizards. He went to the Wizards. He was still a decent player, right? Like Ronaldo coming off the bench for Martial.
Off the bench? You're gonna put him on the bench? It's not happening, bro.
But you're saying he's not at that level anymore. Obviously, you have to play him off the bench. 30 minutes at the end of every game.
We rather invest in the future, and then Ronaldo can be an ambassador for the club or something like that, like what Evra is doing. But in terms of playing for us now, we're not retirement home.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. You'd rather have that guy go to Crystal Palace or something, bro. You know.
Wow.
We have ambitions.
Wow.
We're trying to
where's the loyalty?
We're trying to get the next Cristiano, not the old one.
But there'll never be another Cristiano.
There will be, bro. Maybe not in our lifetime. There will be, but there's always someone.
But not at that level, boys. We're talking about this guy was in the GOAT discussion. There's only 5 players in the GOAT discussion. And he was one of them. And you tell him you still, and let's say it was a free transfer. Like you didn't have to pay Juve like 40 million pounds. You pay, you just pay his wages.
Nah.
We wouldn't.
Nah, not a chance, bro. I'd rather get him.
There's no longevity in that.
I'd rather have him.
But imagine the effect he's gonna have. The effect he's gonna have on Greenwood. The effect he's gonna have on Martial, Rashford. Rashford.
There's no player.
Yeah, but then you can just then we're paying him to sit in the changing room then.
No, and come on the last 30 minutes and score 15 goals a season.
Mbappe.
Anyway.
What are you saying, Mike?
Kylian. Guys, if we got Kylian, I think I'd cry if I Kylian Mbappe.
That would be messy. You know what? He can be overrated. He can, but what Mbappe has, is just pure, genuine killer instinct, wonder kid. That guy, dude. Like he's better than a lot of the players in the world today. Like genuinely. Like the only thing you have to really sort out with him is maybe for him to be a bit more of a team player, and also like just let him go, bro. You just tell him here's the ball, go get it. That nigga quick. Yeah. Because the thing is, it doesn't work with PSG. Sorry to say, like it doesn't work. Like they can beat the whole of France, but when they come onto the European stage, different story. The whole team needs to play.
So what's the point exactly?
So that's what I'm saying. For him, you need to get him, but he's young. What is he? He's not 20. Like
he's 21. Well, that's
like,
probably 22.
Mbappe.
He's like Rashi's age.
No, he's younger.
Maybe Mbappe and call the next Messi and Ronaldo's of the world.
Nah.
But he needs to leave.
And I'm going to say it now. Mbappe is not going to be as good as those two.
You know what? I think Mbappe needs to play in a proper league.
Now.
He needs to play in La Liga, or he needs to play
so that we can see him.
Premiership.
Yeah.
He'll win the Ballon d'Or at least maybe 2 times, I rate. But he won't be in that level.
Man, the guy's already won a World Cup. What do you expect from him?
Nah, he was in a World Cup winning team.
And he was MVP, youngest MVP of the.
Did he win the Golden Ball?
Well, he won that the junior one.
No.
Yeah, but also
exactly.
Remember, when did Ronaldo start winning trophies?
23.
Yeah, he's got time though. We don't know. We'll see.
But yeah,
it's open ended. We'll see.
Yeah. He won't be on the same level. He's gonna be World Player of the Year, 100%. Maybe even 2-3 times. But at the end of his career, he'll be as good as like Zidane and them. He won't be GOAT. He won't be a GOAT.
We'll see. But there might be someone else who comes up. Who knows? Greenwood could become
great. True.
You could maybe Rashford leaves us in 2 years. All of a sudden he's busy playing like who knows, bro? Like it's so tricky. I think you'll see in the next 3 to 4 years, more or less, around who's gonna be next and what their limits are. I mean, there's still a lot of kids in different academies who are looking excellent. Like I actually hope this is what I would do now. But I would buy Sancho if we qualify, get Sancho, focus on a centre back or a midfielder, and then you promote the rest, bro. Like there's no money. So I mean, have you seen how that kid plays? That Moroccan kid we got from League One. I mean, from AS Monaco.
Mabry or something.
Yeah. See, African. You see African. You see an African. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you now. But anyway, guys, let's wrap it up. Max, want to give us a rant for this week?
Yeah, very simple this week. I don't know what FIFA has financial fair play for when they're not going to uphold the rulings that come with what's the name of the board? Give me a second.
CAS, is it not? CAS.
The CSB, whatever board that alleged that they found City had overstated its finances from sponsors, had not been cooperative, and had in fact breached its financial fair play rules. And what did City get? They took it to some court of arbitration, blah, 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 and managed to come off with a 10 million euro fine. It doesn't make sense to me. No wonder why Jose Mourinho was like, it's a disgrace. If they were innocent, why are they getting fined? It doesn't make sense. How can you get fined $10 million and be innocent or 10 million euros? Exactly. It's shocking. It clearly goes to show the state of corruption that the UEFA and FIFA is in.
Hey, don't you get it? Someone lives.
Yeah. Someone's niece or nephew's got a job in Abu Dhabi after this. I'm telling you.
It can only be. It doesn't. Jurgen Klopp also mentioned it's a bad day for football. It's a bad sign for football. It means as long as you've got money, you're good.
Is that 2-1, Neil?
Yep.
3-1.
2-1. Arsenal.
Jeez, 2-1 to the Arsenal. Oh,
what?
Snap.
No, guys.
Liverpool need to stop partying, bruh. Futsek, what is this?
Whoa. Okay, let's wrap it up. I gotta finish this game. Wow.
I gotta check this. Check you guys second half.
Cheers,
gentlemen.
Boys.
See you next week.
Same place, same time.
Same place. Hey, when we come back, we must tell Minnie to take a tequila shot.
100%.
But the man had work to do, guys.
United first, work second.